Early voting in Chicago is now open in all 50 wards through Election Day on November 5th. Remember, any voter can vote at any early voting site no matter where they live in the city. And if you haven't registered yet or you recently moved, same-day registration is available at all early voting sites. Just bring 2 forms of ID, one of which should have your current address. Go on and check voting off your to-do list and vote early. Go to chicagoelections.gov for more information. It might be getting cold outside, but it's about to get a whole lot colder at Paramount Theater in Aurora. That's because the regional premiere of Disney's Frozen, the Broadway musical, is bringing winter magic right to our backyard. Playing October 30th to January 19th, you and your family can watch Anna, Elsa, Olaf, and Sven in this heartwarming fable live on stage. Get tickets at ParamountAurora.com or call 630-896-6666 and use promo code CityCast, all one word, for $5 off. Today on CityCast Chicago, Halloween week mean a lot of things to a lot of people. Y'all talking about costumes and horror movies and haunted houses, but for me, it's all about the candy. Yeah, if you're new to the show, you're gonna learn something that the OG listeners been knowing. I got a legendary sweet tooth. Nah, seriously, there's a bag of candy on my desk right now staring back at me. That's the Haribo Star Mix for my expert candy listeners. So now is the perfect time to get a guide of some of the best candy stores Chicago has to offer. It's Wednesday, October 23rd. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is what Chicago's talking about. First, I want to give a quick thank you to everybody who has become a CityCast Chicago member this week during our fall campaign. We get an alert every time somebody signs up to become a member. And for everybody who's written in the reason why you've joined, those have been extremely special to read. Everybody who has signed up is going to get a tote bag soon to keep all of your candy in. And if you haven't become a member yet, I got a special message for you later in the show. But we're going to jump into this candy guide. And naturally, the first person I thought of to talk was influencer, community builder, and known Halloween lover, Jenny LaFleur, aka Mama Fresh. Jenny, welcome back to CityCast Chicago.
Cody, I can't be mad that you're thinking about a holiday full of sweets, and I was the first person on your mind. I love that.
You stopped by last Halloween to tell us like how you were making the most of your neighborhood. Where do you go for costumes? Where do you go for trick-or-treating? But during that conversation, I remember just how much you shared my passion for the goodies, G, whether we was talking chocolate, whether we was talking gummies, classic Chicago candy. Can you tell me, like, as someone who also loves candy, is that something you just remember throughout your entire childhood? And where do you remember, like, your first candy store, your first candy lady in the city?
I think that candy is just something you remember as growing apart. It's just that indulgent treat that you were always able to have. And let's talk about the affordability of it, because I don't remember a brick and mortar store. I was very much supporting small businesses from a young age. So I was supporting an entrepreneur in my own neighborhood, and that was the candy lady. Now I think about how she must have had distribution, taking orders for the week, but she was just a familiar face and knew all of our names in the neighborhood. So the candy lady was my first introduction to candy, and it could take you $1, $2, $3, could take you a long way there. Do they still sell Chico Sticks? That's something I used to get at the candy lady, and I loved.
Hey, one thing I've seen less of in the last few years, but I really remember when I was growing up is like, especially like at 95th and Stony Island, when you're sitting in that long traffic stop at the light, there used to always be dudes who just had like ropes of like chews and fruities on their neck. And they was also selling socks. They was also selling towels, but you could always get $1, $2 candy bag off of them. But the very first candy store I remember going to a lot was maybe 2 or 3 blocks away from my elementary school on 90th and Ashland. And it was called Stumpy's. And back then you could go and get 5-cent gummy worms, 2 cents fruities, 3 cents warheads, and you would just take $5 and turn the rest of your day into a complete nightmare for my mom and my daddy. It was the best.
They would, and you remember they would have like plastic bags with them pre-to you say, oh, let me get a 50-cent bag of this. Let me get 2 cents. Now, let's also talk about the variety because the candy store also was, now I might be dating myself because I grew up in the 80s on the west side of Chicago, but a peppermint stick and a pickle hated to see me coming because I'm going to combine you. And that was my like treat for the end of the day. And so that's the nostalgia and the memories that come along when you just simply say the words candy store.
As a kid, the one thing you felt like you had was options. Like you had a lot of things to choose from, a lot of things you could like make decisions on your own. But a candy store became this place of like 1,000 possibilities where every time you went there, you could just choose a different configuration. And I don't know, the autonomy I exercised in the candy store. Am I going to splurge on 20 gummy worms or can I get 50 pieces of cheese? Like the way I learned decision making, rationing, a little bit of budgeting, but mostly it's where I like felt the most like my choice, like I had an abundance of choice.
And we know now that that is all real life math in action, where we talk about where are you seeing math work? Well, look at you applying all the things you learned for the day. Look at you, little Kobe. I like that.
Oh, come on. I appreciate you healing the kid in me because when I got home, my mama was not thinking about math. She was like, boy, another $3 gone. You ridiculous. Let's start off with your list. What are some of your favorite candy stores in the city?
First, right off the list is that if you ask my son if he wants to go to a candy store, my 8-year-old, he's going to tell you Ichiban. And that's in Chinatown, right in China Square. It's one of his favorite candy stores. We get in there. And what I love about this is that in one store, you are exposing your child to different cultures, different languages, different palate cleansers. He's a big anime kid, so he can see some of the referencing and the packaging in there. So Ichiban is an amazing candy store. And shout out to their Kit Kat collection, because if you ever wanted a strawberry cheesecake Kit Kat or a matcha green tea Kit Kat, you can do that all in that one store. So we definitely are going to Ichiban every time.
Yeah, I literally just walked past Ichiban the other day, and it's one of my favorite international candy stores in the city. Great selection for people. Constantly comes up on the Reddit list of best candy stores in Chicago. What's another one of your favorite candy stores to visit?
I think one, I have to go with B&B Ice Cream and Candy, and that's because it speaks to the girl in me that where the candy store also had food. Okay, so it wasn't just candy, and you knew that you might be shopping at B&B and they have ice cream, but I'm probably going to be walking out with some nachos if you really want to catch me coming out the store. So they have a combination of hot food for everything from Italian beefs to nachos to ice cream, and also the candy. 2 locations, both on the south side of Chicago, Black owned. And so I just love checking this off my list of a small business that is sweet to visit.
The one in Gresham and the one in Washington Heights, both I lived around coming up. Like you said, it's the one that feels the most, at least for me, nostalgic of Chicago South Side, because you can not only get an Italian beef, you can get the 6 wings with the mild sauce and the lemon pepper. Again, it feels like you are at just like your local corner store. And yeah, so B&B is high on the list. We done gone from Chinatown to Washington Heights and Auburn Gresham. What's another one?
Let's pull up to Little Village then, since we're driving all the way around. And this is when I really come alive. So we're going to Dulcelandia. And what I love about this is because I love candy that also is spicy. So rolled in a little tahini, a watermelon lollipop with tahini around it. We get these
That's the
lollipops.
one I was going to say.
That's me. And we get these lollipops that are shaped like chickens that kind of taste like a chicken. I don't know. So I love how much fun you can have in the stores. And they're the largest distributor of Mexican candy in the Midwest, not just Chicago. Mm-hmm. So with all of their locations, again, I love that your child can experience different culture. I mean, through food and music are 2 easy gateways to experience a different culture. And so candy is perfect for this.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the name, but I think it's Rebanaditas. That's the watermelon suckers with the chili on it. Those are my
Yes.
favorite. I love a good watermelon sucker, regardless whether it's a blow pop, one shaped like a watermelon. And I'm not usually into the spicy candies.
I love it because sometimes with candy, I have to share with my kids all the time. And so we get the spicy. My 3-year-old's like, Mom, is it spicy? And I'm like, yes, they are. And so those are mine that I get to chip away at my own pace. I love how delicious. And I love like little treat. Also, anything like dark chocolate. I love like a dark chocolate covered orange rind. Do you ever get those? Like I get them from Kilwins sometimes.
Let's stay with Kilwins because I know you also like some good chocolate. The shortbread with the chocolate and the caramel on it, that's one of my go-tos anytime I go. I get the truffles too, but the chocolate caramel covered shortbread is my go-to.
You dip anything in chocolate, dip the pretzel in there, dip the shortbread. And if you catch it at the right time, you can still see them doing it at the window. I think that's, and then that's your day. You sit there, whether you're visiting their Hyde Park location, which is perfect people watching situation, is right there.
All of the personalities right around there, from Harper Theater to like Ja Grill and Harper Court, the dudes that come over on their motorcycles to smoke cigars, like right down the street. I agree with you 100%.
If you love grabbing a drink with a friend, and if democracy's on your mind this election season, and of course it is, you should volunteer with Beers and Ballots. Beers and Ballots empowers you to get off the sidelines and into the game this election season. It's a fun, easy way to facilitate conversations with prospective voters and their swing state friends over free beers. And if you were the owner or manager of a bar or coffee shop or entertainment venue, Beers and Ballots can increase your revenue and increase foot traffic by 10 to 15%. Here's what to do. Go to beers.vote to learn more about how Chicagoans can get involved and to sign up. Again, that website is beers.vote. Vote like your beer depends on it. This ad was paid for by Movement Labs, LLC.
Chicago's favorite holiday tradition is back at Lincoln Park Zoo and celebrating 30 years. Tickets are now on sale for Zoo Lights, presented by ComEd and Invesco QQQ, running November 15th through January 5th. Get ready for fun seasonal activities like photos with Santa, live ice carving, rides, holiday characters, and more, all surrounded by, get this, 3 million dazzling lights. Catch interactive light displays in the Light Lounge and grab a quick hot cocoa and other festive treats as you wander through the illuminated zoo. And be sure to check out other fun holiday events like Adults Night Out Holidays in December. Zoo Lights will start November 15th and run through January 5th. Tickets are $7 to $10 with select free nights. Get your tickets at lpzoo.org/zoolights to learn more and secure your spot before it sells out. This episode is brought to you by Mubi, a global streaming service dedicated to elevating great cinema. Stream beautiful hand-picked films anytime, anywhere. Be sure to catch the cult classic The Fall, now streaming exclusively on Mubi in spectacular new 4K restoration. Filmed across 24 countries over a period of 4 years, Tarsem Singh's ostentatious epic sees a bedridden stuntman played by a magnetic Lee Pace spin an escapist fantasy for a hospitalized young girl. The story transports her into the exotic landscapes of her imagination, backdropped by magnificent costumes and stunning locations. Don't miss your chance to experience this film like never before. You can start streaming The Fall and more for 30 days free at Mubi.com/CityCast. You heard me right, 30 days free at Mubi.com/CityCast. Trust me, we got plenty more candy to talk about, but you might be thinking, Kobe, where I'm going to keep all this candy? Or Kobe, I need something unique to take trick-or-treating with me this Halloween. Well, let me introduce you to the brand new CityCast Chicago tote bag. And the only way to get it is becoming a member during this fall campaign. All week long, we've been talking about how important member support is to our team of local journalists, and your contributions help us keep delivering the stories, insights, and news that keeps you connected to Chicago. That's reason enough to become a member, but if you still on the fence, remember, we got another tote bag for you to add to your collection. And this isn't just a bag to toss in the back of your closet. We put a lot of thought into designing it with Chicago in mind. That's why it features the flag. They threw in a pair of roller skates for me. Of course, we got some Tavern Pizza in there. We got the bean, we got the fountain, and much more. You know what? I really want to see how many totes we can spread across the city, right? I'm trying to sweat out this tote bag budget. I want to see it on every train from Austin to 95th Street to Rogers Park. I want to see it at the Jewels. I need to see it at the Farmers Market. I need to see it in the parking lot. Right. But the only way we can do that is if you join our member community this week during our fall campaign. Plus, beyond the tote, you'll get the satisfaction of supporting the homies. Your support helps us keep telling the stories that make Chicago so special and sometimes hella annoying. Head over to membership.citycast.fm to become a member today, and we're going to send you a tote in the mail. That's membership.citycast.fm. All right. Now, what the hell we gonna be putting in them totes? Right. We talking about candy. Let me keep the plot. Jenny, let's think about some more traditional candy stores. Like when you walk in, they feel like they pulled right out of a movie or something. I'm talking over the top. What are a few locations you love?
If you want to see your kids' eyes truly light up, I love going up to Lakeview on Southport to Candyality. Now, they were voted the best candy stores in Illinois by Food and Wine magazine. But when you walk in there are just bins of candy and sweet treats and every flavor. Same thing with you. I first discovered that there was grapefruit peach rings. Like, I call them always peach rings, but the circle rings.
Exactly. A ring is a peach ring. An apple is an apple peach ring.
Apple peach ring. So I discovered grapefruit peach rings up there. And I was like, this is amazing.
Gee, I never seen that one.
Yes, I definitely will put Candyality on your list. It is a great way to spend afternoon. It is great to just see all the different flavors. And it's like a create your own adventure because you're putting together your own little bag to put around.
I feel like the last time I went to Candyality, I had just gone to like the Music Box or something. And I was just walking and I saw it. My girlfriend immediately knew, you want to go in? I said, yes.
I do.
But
I do.
I can't help myself. If I'm walking past a candy store, I'm already the person who's going to stop in every gas station, every corner store, every 7-Eleven and come out with something. But when I see like an OG candy store, it gets me, like a Margie's over in Bucktown or in Ravenswood. That just, again, it feels like a coloring book come to life.
And the stories and the people that work there is just walking history of the neighborhood. Some people that have had their first dates there, they're there with their kids, even grandkids. I love it. You just sit there and you will just see the regulars coming in and out of the Bucktown location.
All right, so when we think about Halloween, we might not be stopping by our local candy store if we're trying to buy in bulk. So where do you go to buy in bulk for Halloween? And what are the things you're planning to pass out to the kids who stop by?
So I think that when you approach Halloween, some people are quality over quantity. You'll hear about the legendary full bar homes or houses in your neighborhood. But I'm really into the quantity. I'm trying to give handfuls of candies out to as many kids as possible. And for me, I am a Costco girl. So I simply go to Costco. They have huge bags of medleys of candy, and we go through those bags every Halloween.
Yeah, growing up and even now, L&P Foods in Greater Grand Crossing, which is like this wholesale shop that I'm pretty sure 75% of the street side, like snow cone ladies, people who selling nachos and cheese, people who got candy bags, they probably pulling up on L&P Foods. That's also where I learned that the peach fruity existed, because those are rarely found in your mixed bag. Bro, the minute I got some adult money, I went to L&P Foods and just bought industrial bags of fruities for myself.
You know what's so funny? When you become a parent, there's like two schools of thought. When you go to parties, like birthday parties, there are treat bags that's full of like an applesauce, a fidget spinner, and a fake tattoo. That's my birthday party. Then there's my cousin, Malika, Delilah, shout out to them, who are going to L&P, and for their kids' birthday parties, they are loading bags up with these fruities, these candies I haven't seen since a kid.
So what are your favorite, particularly when we're thinking about the medley bags that you're getting wholesale? What are your favorite that maybe every couple handfuls you grabbing one or two out for yourself?
I'm hoarding Snickers, period. I'm not even grabbing, the kids are never getting Snickers. Like, they are not seeing them. They don't even know they exist. I put it out the head and I put one in my purse. And if I come across a lemon head, I'm going there too. A lemon head lasts like 3 to 5 business days sucking on it. Like, I don't know if I've seen the end of a lemon head. So I'm taking those. I'm taking that little box with me as well.
I love that you throwing in some Chicago brands. But you think about some of your classics that originated in Chicago, like Brock's Candy Corn. We talked about Red Hots and Lemon Head. We talked about Tootsie Roll, so many of the Mars and Wrigley family here. Like, what's your favorite classic Chicago candy?
Lemon Heads, hand down. I love lemon heads. It takes me back to right in front of the apartment building I grew up in. I instantly know exactly where I am. But I want to shout out, Tootsie Roll is a really great candy you can give out for just treats and Halloween because it has a great shelf life. Before everyone was talking about different allergies and before we were talking about that, Tootsie Roll was the OG in that game. You always kept it out. It had no peanuts. And so it was a candy that when I was in the retail business, that's like the treat we always kept in the drawer is a bunch of Tootsie Rolls. If there was a kid that was having a little bit of a hard time, you just offered them a Tootsie Roll. As
you are in your last days and weeks of Halloween prep, what are your candy tips for parents this Halloween season?
Buy it now. If you have not, the bags are dwindling down. Buy it now and buy more than you think. Buy how much you think and then go back and get one more bag. Because there is nothing worse than at the end having to ration out 3 pieces per person. At the beginning, you are feeling good. Oh, you are making it rain with candy. Then at the end, it starts to get a little sad and you're just giving a couple out by more than you need. Worst case scenario, you can always donate it later. You can always give it to your kid's school, but buy more candy than you need.
What are you doing creative this year?
So this year, the trend, there's always trends in this thing. And the trends right now are for Boo Baskets. And so it's for my own little kids. And I'm putting together little baskets and giving them their Halloween pajamas and then also their costumes and a little of their favorite candies and creating Boo Baskets. I'm really excited about that. I am volunteering at my son's school. We do a pumpkin patch at the school. And the reason why that is super important is you and me both grew up in the city. I didn't see a pumpkin patch until I was in my 20s.
Yeah, the first one I ever went to was in Syracuse when I was 23.
Yes, we talked about this, and I think that equity of bringing the pumpkin patch to the kids, and we bring it right to the South Side, and we use hay, and we create this faux pumpkin patch, and I set up this little photo op, and I take pictures of them. And it really gives kids, everyone deserves that feeling of like picking up their little pumpkin and taking a picture of it and on top of, hay bales and all that stuff. So that has become to be a highlight of my Halloween traditions.
We've talked about all of the things you're doing for your kids, for your neighborhood. Are there any Halloween events you're looking forward to going to with you and your friends where y'all can hang out and maybe also get some candy on the side from the event?
I have asked about this. If anybody knows, please DM me at Mama Fresh Shop because do you know my birthday is the day after Halloween? Have we talked about this? November 1st?
Yes, the same day as my sister's birthday.
That's
we talked
what
about
I remember. That. So if anyone wants to invite me to an adult, I already have a costume. I'm going to be Queen Bee. So I'm going to be, a bee with a sash and a crown. So I'll be the Queen Bee. And I am available for my kids go down at 8:30. So if you got a party that starts at 9, invite your girl in and I can pull up.
I got you. We're going to drop all of Mama Fresh's links in the show notes. I want to give another huge thank you to Jenny LaFleur. We appreciate you always stopping by CityCast Chicago with such energy and great recommendations.
Can't wait till next time.
Before we let you go, make sure you head over to our website, chicago.citycast.fm, for our latest articles, our neighborhood and walking guides, our best food and drink list. And while you're there, subscribe to our daily newsletter, Hey Chicago. course, I can't let you go without some good news. Now, I know some of y'all need to get y'all Halloween movie feel across the city this week, and I got you. Music Box of Horrors is playing indie horror films all week. Classics like Hocus Pocus and Beetlejuice will be at Chi-Town Movies, the drive-in theater in Pilsing, and The Shining, Candyman, and Coraline are playing at the Rooftop Cinema in the West Loop. And just in case you missed it, remember, our fall campaign is underway. When you become a CityCast Chicago member this week, you not only get to feel good about supporting your favorite podcast and newsletter, get you some great perks, but if you join during the campaign, you'll also receive an exclusive CityCast Chicago tote bag. Just head to membership.citycast.fm right now to join. And if you're already a member, we appreciate you. Your support means the world to us, and we're grateful. You know we can't do this without you. I got one last favor to ask you. You show up bright and early tomorrow. I'm going to be here. Hopefully you'll join me. And by bright and early, I mean whenever, however, wherever you listen. Again, I'm going to be here. Peace. Naditas. Michelle, help me out.
Rebanaditas.
Rebanaditas.
What I will tell you is delicioso. They taste fire. They're delicious. That's what it is.